يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة ونخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجن من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما البرزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم هو في شأن فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان سنفرغ لكم أيها الثقلان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يا معشر الجن والإنس إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس فلا تنتصران فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فإذا انشقت السماء فكانت وردة كالدهان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيومئذ لا يسأل عن ذنبه إنس ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يعرف المجرمون بسيماهم فيؤخذ بالنواصي والأقدام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون يطوفون بينها وبين حميم آن فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ولمن خاف مقام ربه جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ذوتا أفنان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما عينان تجريان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على فرش بطائنها من استبرق وجنى الجنتين الدان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهن غاسرات طرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ومن دونهما جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مدهامتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما عينان نضختان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما فاكهة ونخل ورمان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهن الخيرات الحسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان حور مقصورات في الخيام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين على رفرف خضر وعبقري حسان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Thank you, Brother Abbas, for reciting Surah Ar-Rahman. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, you all are well. Thank you for attending program this Saturday evening. Very warm in Austin over the last few days. So thanks for braving the weather. And as you all know, we're here to continue the commemoration of the celebration of the wiladat of our 8th Holy Imam, Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Muhammad. To observe this special occasion, we'll have some poetry recitation. So first, I'd like to call Brother Pervez. So please welcome him with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Salawat. ذہنوں کا انقلاب رضائے غریب ہیں مظلومیت کا باب رضائے غریب ہیں مشہد کی سرزمین کی رونق انہی سے ہے مشہد کی سرزمین کی رونق انہی سے ہے فارس کی آب و تاب رضائے غریب ہیں ذہن حکمت سے جس نے دین خدا کو بچا لیا حکمت سے جس نے دین خدا کو بچا لیا اس دین کا آفتاب رضائے غریب ہیں اللہم صلی اللہ باغ نبی کے پھول اور امت کے خیر خواہ، باغ نبی کے پھول اور امت کے خیر خواہ، ایک گلشن شاداب رضائے غریب ہیں۔ اللہم صلی اللہ ٹھکرایا تخت اور حکومت دلوں پہ کی، ٹھکرایا تخت اور حکومت دلوں پہ کی، بانی انقلاب رضائے غریب ہیں۔ دشمن قوی تھا اور غریب الوطن تھے وہ، دشمن قوی تھا اور غریب الوطن تھے وہ، خالق کا انتخاب رضائے غریب ہیں۔ ذہنوں کا چالاکیاں اور سازشیں مامون کی جو تھیں، چالاکیاں اور سازشیں مامون کی جو تھیں، ہر چال کا جواب رضائے غریب ہیں۔ تحفہ یہ پیش کرتا ہے سابق امام کو، تحفہ یہ پیش کرتا ہے سابق امام کو، فردوس کا ایک باب رضائے غریب ہیں۔ صلوات۔
Thank you, Brother Pervez, for reciting that. Brother Ali Akbar, do you have okay. Brother Ali Akbar will recite peace in Farsi, so please welcome him with salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
So this is about someone who's traveling to Mashhad. So before traveling to Mashhad, he's expressing his feelings, good feelings about Imam Raza. یک بلیت باز یک حال عجیب، پر شده از رنگ حرم رنگ یک اذن ورود، رنگ یک گنبد زرد، هر حیاتی یک حوض پر از آب کوثر، به وضو بر لب حوض باز هم اذن ورود، یک قدم تا مقصود در همین حین میان رؤیا، ناگهان بغض مرا میگیرد، گویی انگار مشرف شده ام، به خودم می آیم چند روزی به سفر هست هنوز، تا که بر گنبد تو دیده ام از دور افتاد، تا که بر گنبد تو دیده ام از دور افتاد، ناگهان بر دل آلوده من شور افتاد، اولین بار که دیدم حرمت را گفتم ای سلیمان به سرایت گذر مور افتاد، به چه مشغول کنم دیده و دل را که مدام، دل تو را می طلبد دیده تو را می جوید، از کار من گره نگشاید کسی مگر دست گره گشای تو یا سامن الحج، ما را کرمش داد ز هر غصه نجات، ما را کرمش داد ز هر غصه نجات، بر معرفت و مرام سلطان صلوات.
Thank you, Brother Ali Akbar. And I will recite a last one in English. It's very short, very basic. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Imam al-Ridha was Allah's light. He came to this world to make it bright. Soon after his birth, he bowed his head and praised Allah by bowing his head. He sat up and looked at the skies, and so saluted him the angels of the skies. From his face shone this very divine light. It rose high to the skies and made the skies bright. The east was bright, the west was bright, the north was bright, and the south was bright. He's the powerful, miraculous Imam. He is the embodiment of light, Imam. He was present on this earth like the sun of heaven shining on earth. The bright, divine, and powerful light was making earth and heavens bright. His body neat, clean, and pure, very fragrant it was for sure. Heavenly, and the sweet fragrance spread from him, this sweet fragrance. His sacred lips moved on and on, recited holy books on and on, the books of Adam, David, and Moses, the Torah, Bible, the book of Jesus, Quran, the book of Muhammad, and he recited it like Muhammad. His mind was treasure of this knowledge, and he was the manifester of this knowledge. Musa al-Kadhim, the great Imam, took Ali al-Ridha, the great Imam, recited adhan in the right ear, and then the iqama in his left ear. He said to the mother of Ali al-Ridha, the proof of Allah is Ali al-Ridha. On earth, he is the sign of God, and he is an Imam appointed by God. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Without further ado, we'll invite Sheikh Jafar to the member. So if everybody can move forward as much as possible and invite him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صلى على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. And a second time for the well-being of our community members, and those who may be ill. Salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And a final salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad for the hastened reappearance of Imam Zaman. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم به نستعين الحمد لله الذي جعل الحمد مفتاحا لذكره وسببا للمزيد من فضله ودليلا على آلائه وعظمته ثم صلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أرواحنا له فداء. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فلولا قرية آمنت فنفعها إيمانها إلا قوم يونس لما آمنوا كشفنا عنهم عذاب الخزي في الحياة الدنيا ومتعناهم إلى حين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. First and foremost, I congratulate all of you on the auspicious occasion which we have come to celebrate. That is the That is the birthday of Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi afdal salatu wassalam. Although the birthday was yesterday, the 11th of Dhul Qa'dah, we still celebrate this auspicious occasion. And in doing so, we will also continue to seek guidance from the Quran, from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which we stated that Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, he had a particular relationship with. And we mentioned this in our speech on Thursday, that he would complete the Quran every 3 days. So every day he would recite 10 juz of the Quran. And he said that he would complete it even faster. But he reflected, and he stopped, and he reflected on every single verse of the Quran, about what it was revealed for and when it was revealed. This is the relationship that we should also have with the Quran, that we are reading the Quran, we are constantly with the Quran, and we are reflecting upon the Quran, reflecting upon its guidance. And if we do so, then perhaps we will discover that secret, or those aspects of Iman and faith which save the nation of Yunus. And this is what we begin our topic with since the beginning of Ramadan. And because this chapter has many points that we can benefit from, and it is one of the longer chapters, then it has kept us, or at least it should have kept us, attentive to this Quran and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is guiding us to. So after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the 10th and also the 11th group of verses that we have given commentary about, after he spoke about the Quran, the greatness of the Quran, the 4 attributes and qualities of the Quran, that it is a advice and guide for us, it is advice for us, a maw'idah. It is that which, again, sets forth a criterion by which we should live our life. It is that which awakens us from our slumber of ghafla, of neglectfulness. It is that which is shafa'un lima fis sudur. It is that which is a cure for our spiritual ailments, for our spiritual illnesses. It is that which is al-huda. It is a guide for us. It is that which is rahmah, a source of mercy for us. So after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He explains these qualities of the Quran, which also are paths towards seeking spiritual perfection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states in the 12th section that we will give our commentary on, and that will be from verse 36, verse 62 of Surah Yunus to verse 70. So chapter 10, verse 62 to verse 70. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the very beginning and also up until the end, He basically explains, or He gives us insight about those individuals who embrace the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His revelation, and those who followed the Prophet. He gives us some insight about these individuals and who they are and what their character is like, what their position is like, what is their maqam, what is their station with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the very end, He gives us the opposite, those individuals who, again, they rejected this blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this ni'mah, but what is their station? And of course, there's no need to reflect upon that much, because we know that those who have rejected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who have rejected the guidance from Allah and His prophets, then these individuals are doomed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He stated it many times in this chapter, and He's reiterating it as well. But we'll focus on that first part. So who are those individuals who embraced faith? They understood the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was sending in His revelation to His prophets, the aspect about Tawheed, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being an individual who is righteous and upright, being an individual who is just, being an individual who is obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set forth certain commands, which is obligatory for us to observe. He has put forth certain injunctions, which is, again, haram for us to indulge in those things. That those individuals, not simply that they heard the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the prophets, but they obeyed. They became the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the true servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That those individuals, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, and He gives them this name, this title, awliya. Awliya. And He says this in verse 62. ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. That surely, or is it not such, that those individuals who are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who have no fear, they have no fear. لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. And they don't become saddened. But in order to achieve that status of being waliullah, and we must understand what this term is, because waliullah or awliya Allah, it has different meanings in and of itself. It has different masadiq, or you could say reference in the external world, that who among mankind, among Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation, are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-wali, of course, in one sense, it means friend. Someone who is a friend. And this is what many have tried to state, that this is what the Prophet stated when he held the hand of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib. The Prophet said, Man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawla. That whoever I'm his friend, then Ali is his friend. And I'm not going to go into that discussion or debate. Just some have said that, yeah, it means friends. And truly, the word itself means friend. But in that situation, in that context, it doesn't mean friend. The Prophet, he wouldn't stop people in that situation. And we're not going to go to the whole debate. So who are the awliya of Allah? And particularly those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's also speaking about in this particular verse. Ala inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim. So it could mean friend. Awliya can mean someone who has authority over someone else. Innama waliyukum Allah wa rasuluhu. That your wali is Allah wa rasuluhu. And the Prophet of Allah. And those who pray and they give zakat when they're doing ruku. Wali, someone who has authority. Someone who has guardianship. إنما المؤمنون والمؤمنات بعضهم أولياء بعض يأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر. That the wali, or that individual who is a wali, who is a guardian, who is a protector of his Muslim brother and sister. That lady, that woman who is a believer, who is mu'mina, and she is a protective of her Muslim brother and sister. By virtue of enjoining what is right and forbidding what is wrong. So this word wali, those individuals who are awliya, they could be friends. And truly they are friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, they cannot be guardians of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because they actually are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guardianship. Wali also means that someone who is beside you. If you say, huwa waliyi, meaning that he is next to me, in close proximity to me. Yes, so that will also carry that meaning that, yes, those individuals are someone who is in close proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning that they have a special relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wali also means that someone who is a vicegerent. So, and this is also used today. In fact, among those, some of the individuals who say that what the Prophet said, that Amir al-Mu'mineen, he is the wali, man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyu mawla, when they say that that means friends, but yet they themselves in their governmental structure, they say that the person who is to lead after the king is what? Waliyul ahd. If you look in Saudi, again, some of these are the biggest ones. Amir al-Mu'mineen wasn't appointed as the next in charge. But when they appoint someone in the next of charge, who is the next in line to become king, to become ruler, they say, he is Waliyul Ahd. But yet they don't accept that the Prophet, he uses the word, Man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawla, that he is the Waliyul Ahd. When Ma'mun, he brought Imam Rida alayhi afdhalu salatu wasalam to Khurasan, and he was, again, with his own plot, he says, well, we will make Imam Rida, Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi afdhalu salatu wasalam, and Muhammad, in his claim to show the ummah that, well, yes, the Abbasids, we rose up in the name of Ahlul Bayt in order to return their rights back to them. So this was a huge question during the time of Ma'mun. And he says, no, see, I've brought Ali ibn Musa Rida, and he is what? Waliyul Ahad. Not meaning that he's the friend of Ma'mun. No, Ma'mun is like, no, he's the next in line. That if something happens to me, then the next Khalifa, the ruler should be Ali ibn Musa Rida. Although we may question the sincerity of his intentions because we know what happened in history. But he was Wali, the one who was next in line. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he states that these individuals who are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, la khawfun alayhim. These individuals who are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's friend, these individuals who have close proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And perhaps this is the best understanding of this term here. Those who have a close proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those individuals who have become the true servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many of our mufassireens, they also have stated this in their commentaries of this particular verse, that these individuals are those who are truly the servants of Allah. They are abdun mahth. They are pure servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That they are in the complete obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the verses that follow also kind of prove this. They are kind of hujjah to this. Even the verses that come before that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's outlining the qualities of the Quran, the method in order to purify ourselves. And then he says that, Inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. But these awliya as well, that when we look into the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdhalu salatu wasalam, when we and the writings of our scholars, we see that these awliya as well, that they have darajat, they have different levels, they have different groups of them. Among the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we know without doubt are the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the a'imma alayhim afdhalu salatu wasalam, the imams. Among the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those individuals who are mu'mineen, those who are mu'mineen and mu'minat, those believing servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that have overcome their test in life. And not a test that they overcome, but That test is constantly there, but those individuals are so focused on gaining closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because they are in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. They don't have fear. Fear of what? And a khawf, technically, when we look at this word, that what does khawf mean? Again, this is a word that has several meanings, but khawf, one of its immediate meaning is khawf, to have fear of loss of something. And by losing that thing, that you have some sort of negative effect, that this is something that you don't want to lose. For example, one good example that we may have is that many of us, when we're driving on the highway, we try to make sure that we're staying within our own lane. We're not driving on the line or outside the line. And especially if we have a nice car, especially when we buy our first car, new car, we're extra careful. Why? Because we are fear that, well, if I do something wrong, then it's going to get scratched up. Even sometimes we buy that new car and it's shiny, all waxed up, pulled it off the lot. And then when we go into a parking lot, what do? We'll park the car far away from other cars. Because we think, well, no one's parking over here, so my car's not going to get dented up. So no one's going to open their door and it hits my car door and scratches it up. Or sometimes with, our nice shoes, we buy some new shoes and make sure that it's polished up. And then we're kind of extra careful on how we walk. That first day we get those shoes, we're not just walking and having it get scuffed up. We're walking very carefully. We're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to keep them as new and nice and neat as long as I can. Why? Because we fear, it's going to get messed up. It's going to get damaged. This is khawf. But because those individuals who are the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, la khawfun alayhim. In this world, they don't have fear for these things. Why? Because they understand that they are abd. They are servants of Allah. And whatever they have, it's not theirs. It belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they don't fear the loss of something. وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. So if someone, again, takes something from them, that they know that, look, this is, at least I have this right to this thing. Does it sadden them to the point they fall into depression? Unfortunately, this happens sometimes. So that we feel that, this job, I should have got that job. This raise, I should have got that raise. There's no reason why I shouldn't have. That degree, I should have got that degree. That spouse, I should have gotten that spouse. This is the person I want. I made every effort, but it didn't happen. And when it didn't happen, what happens to us? We become depressed. We become sad. That why? Even sometimes I made this dua and I made that dua. What happened? How come I didn't get this thing? And it affects us. We become saddened. Sometimes so saddened that we fall into a cycle of depression. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stating, He says, listen. And the example He's given in our Imam, in the Prophet and the Imam, connect yourself with the Quran. Become the true servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever happens, if you get something, if you don't get that thing, لا خوف عليكم ولا يحزنون. Don't fear. Because it all belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He will definitely, again, if your iman is strong, He will replace it with something much better. And much better for you. And at the right time for you. So again, the best example before us. who had more right to the Khilafah than Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam? Did he fear losing that position? Did losing the Khilafah make Amir al-Mu'mineen sad and he fell into depression? No. He was among the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Those individuals, again, they move forward with what their responsibility is towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who have no fear, and again, remember this term, al-khawf, because when we say that, and the question should be, so are they not human? Yes, they are human. Don't they have fear of anything? Well, yeah, there's a type of fear, but that fear is not losing anything in this world. Their fear is not of having this dunya taken away from them. Their fear is not even of the hellfire. Oh, I will be thrown in the hellfire. That أنا أخاف من النار. No. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he stated himself, he says that, again, you find three types of servant. One who is a businessman, he's worshiping Allah because he wants paradise. The other is a slave that he is worshiping because he's afraid of the fire. And the third, he is a true believer. Why? Because he's not worshiping Allah to gain paradise, nor is he worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of fear of hell, but he's worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah is worthy of being worshipped. This is the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those individuals who Allah says in verse 63, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. Those individuals who had iman, who has faith. The first step and the first foundation of becoming the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to have iman. To know what you believe. Yes, I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, do you truly understand who this God, this Creator, your Lord, who He is? That I have sufficient proof and I am content that Allah, Rabbi. You'll be asked that when we leave this world and we're put in our grave, this is what the talqeen is about. When you're asked, Man Rabbuk, who is your Lord? And we're reminded at that time in talqeen, when you're asked, who is your Lord? Say, Allahu Rabbi. Who is your prophet? Who are your imams? What is your book? You'll be asked all of these things. So the first step of, again, becoming these awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to know this. We have to be strong in our faith and our iman. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. And those individuals, they did not stop at simply knowing their faith. كَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. These were individuals who had taqwa. And as we mentioned several times again, there's no need for me to mention what this taqwa is. It's consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-muqama bayn al-khawfi wal-raja. A station between fear and hope. And again, that fear is not fear of losing anything in this world. It's fear of losing your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's perhaps a fear that is more well explained in one of the statements of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam. When he talks about fear, he uses this word, he uses this term, khawf. But then at the end, he uses another term that has an element or aspect of fear. which is wajal. And this comes from two of the statements of Imam Rida alayhi hafizahullah, and we'll mention those, what the Imam he stated, because it is a good lesson for us to understand how to become among the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Rida alayhi hafizahullah, he stated, Inna as-saghaira, or he says, as-saghaira min al-dhunub turuqun ila al-kaba'ir. ومن لم يخف الله في القليل لم يخفه في الكثير. He says that as-saghair, the minor sins, he says this is a pathway towards major sins. And whoever does not fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the minute things, the little things, that individual won't fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in those things which are great. Subhanallah. Yes, quite often we hear speeches, or even we read some of the books that are written by our scholars, Dhunub al-Kabira, the great sins. And then, unfortunately, sometimes we think, well, this is a little sin. But even in that, to consider, and this is the book of Ayatul Dasghaibi, he says, even to consider a small sin as small, he says, that's a great sin. So Imam Rida, he's saying that even the things which you may think are small sins, he says, you have to purge yourself of these things. To gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be that servant that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wants you to be. To be among those awliya where, again, when you walk through this life, you have no fear, you have no sadness. Nothing will make you depressed. This is actually the best cure for depression. Better than pills that you pop. I've known some people who actually took some of those pills. Sometimes, some people, they have to take them. Sometimes there's a problem neurologically and they have to take it. But I know some individuals, again, they didn't really have anything wrong, but they went into depression, again, from something that they lost or they thought they should have had. And then they were taking this medicine, and they said, they were completely dysfunctional because they wanted just to sleep all day. And the person themselves like, I had to actually get off of this stuff in order to actually begin working. So if something is not wrong, neurologically, really wrong, but it's something that, I went into depression because something I should have had, or I went and I made every effort and I didn't get that thing. The best cure is to make your relation closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm saying that, yes, if someone actually has a medical issue, yes, they need to go to the doctor. But if it's simply depression because that person said this thing to me, keeps saying this to me, or that person keeps bothering me, I'm saddened, I go into depression. No. Make your relationship strong with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many people, again, they disrespected the Ahlul Bayt, but because their relationship was strong with the Quran and with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever they do, they do. Actually, it's going to harm them in the end. Don't let that take us and one of the most saddest things sometimes that people say that, and people end up indulging in sometimes sins, backbiting, talking bad about others. And I think, that's a minor thing. No. These minor sins are a path towards greater sins. And if we don't fear Allah in the small things, then we will have difficulties fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the bigger things. Then Imam Rida, he states, وَلَوْ لَمْ يُخَوِّفَ اللَّهُ النَّاسِ بِجَنَّةٍ وَالنَّارِ لَكَانَ الْوَاجِبُ أَن يُطِيعُوهُ وَلَا يَعْصُوهُ لتفضله عليهم وإحسانه إليهم وما بدأهم به من إنعامه الذي ما استحقوه. He says, and even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He didn't, again, this is the statement of someone who's the wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, someone who's trying to train us to be the wali of Allah, to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says that even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not strike fear in the hearts of mankind with the promise of paradise and the warning of hellfire, then it will still be incumbent to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not to sin and disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has graced you. He's given you His fadl. He's shed His grace upon you. And He has spread His kindness upon you. And He is giving you blessings which you don't deserve. And this is the thinking of awliya of Allah, that whatever we have, what have we done that we deserve these? And subhanAllah, it's very elegant the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way Imam Rida alayhi after salatu wasalam, he explains it. He says, Ma bada'ahum bihi min in'amihi alladhi mastahaqqu. He says that when we look at it, who started? If we say that, well, I'm praying to Allah, I'm worshiping Allah, and because I'm making this dua and I'm making my salat, then, okay, I deserve these favors from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, no, Allah, He started giving you favors before you can even ask for them. Your life, your sustenance in the wombs of your mothers. And when you were born and you can even fend for yourself, a kind mother, a kind parent, a guardian. So He began giving you things before you could even ask for them. So what have you done to deserve these things? And this is the way we should be thinking. That Allah is giving us so much when we've done nothing to deserve it. And in another place, Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, again, with regards to these blessings, he says, Inna sahib al-na'ma ala khatar. Innahu yajibu alayhi hukukullah fiha. He says, that individual who is sahibun na'ma, that individual who has received a gift and a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That person who's received a gift. And he just stated that Allah, He has gifted us with things, with His ni'mah, His blessings, before we can even ask. He says that individual who has this blessing, he says, he's in danger. Subhanallah. Why is he in danger? With all these blessings, our life, our health, our wealth, our guidance by the Quran and by Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal salatu wassalam. He says that individual who has received this blessing, again, our families, that individual who has received this blessing, because he has received it, it is now incumbent upon him to observe the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with regards to those blessings. With regards to the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, that this is better for you, your salat, your fasting, your dressing in a particular way, being modest, everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us in the Quran. Now you're responsible to observe the rights of that guidance. By obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by not sinning against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says that person who has that ni'mah is in danger, because now he is responsible for it. That individual will be asked about it. You will be asked about your blessings, the ni'mah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. And then Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, he stated, he says, Wallah, swearing by Allah, he says, Wallah, innahu latakunu alayya ni'am من الله عز وجل فما أزال minha ala wajlin. Allah. He says, I swear by Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has given me blessings. He says, and I am still, he says, to this moment, I'm worried about that. Al-wajl. He didn't say he's yakhaf. Al-wajl is a type of fear, but a type of fear that, again, you're not fearing any harm from losing anything. Al-wajl is a worry that will you be able to fulfill that responsibility that you have to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the person who was relating this, he says, and when the Imam, he said this, he said he stuck out his hand and he was shaking. And the individual, he says, Allahu Akbar, he says, someone like you in your status, again, this is a ma'asum. He says, someone like you in your status, that you're shaking like this? He says, yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's giving me this blessing, this ni'mah of His knowledge, of His guidance. He's giving them this Quran, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says that He gives one of the qualities of the believer. When he reads the Quran, what happens to his heart? He has a wajal in his heart. That will I be able to fulfill my responsibility, my duty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the right that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed over me with regards to this Quran. MashaAllah, we've been given the Quran. We've been given the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the example of the Prophet. After Rasulullah, we've been given the example of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalu salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli Muhammad. And if we walk like we're content and we carry our day-to-day lives like we're content and, oh yeah, I'm doing everything. Yes, I make my prayers 5 times and even sometimes not even on time. Even sometimes not even attentive to our salat. But we don't have that wajal, that worry that really am I fulfilling my responsibility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And here's the Imam Ma'asum, who's quaking, who's shivering. SubhanAllah. This is the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the teachings of Ahlul Bayt that they are giving to us. Again, hoping that we will be conscious of the favors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He has placed upon us. That if we lived by that guidance of the Quran, the guidance of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalu salatu wassalam, they're not saying that life is not difficult. Yes, we face difficult things in life. Yes, we face people who may say things about us. Yes, at times there may be certain issues within our household, turmoil. But if we stuck to the Quran, we held fast to the Quran, we read the Quran, reflected the Quran, understood that what the Quran is trying to tell us, what is the guidance that we're that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to take from this Quran? What is the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He wants us to take from the example of Rasulullah, the example of Ahlul Bayt? Then we will be able to resolve all of those issues. Because truly, if we look at the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalu salatu wassalam, what we deal with in our life, from the difficulties of dealing with people, or maybe even difficulties within our homes, is nothing like what the Ahlul Bayt have dealt with. But these are the individuals, la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. And if we truly followed in their footsteps, we walk their walked, we talk their talked, we live like they lived, we won't have that fear. We won't have that sadness. That we will have the comfort in the Quran and in the Sirat of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He continues to guide us by the wisdom of the Quran and the example of the Prophet and his holy household. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He forgives our sins, covers our shortcomings, He grants us our needs, He cures those who are sick among us, our friends and families, that He have mercy upon our deceased ones, that He hasten the reappearance of Imam Zaman, make us among His helpers and those who sacrifice their lives for Him. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma ighfir dhunubana wastur uyubana waqdi hawaijana washfi maradana warham amwatana وعجل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره والمستشهدين بين يديه وتحت لواء بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين.
Thank you, Sheikh. It's a lot of time now. Just a quick reminder that tomorrow, inshallah, there's a Sisters Milad at 4 p.m. here at IABA. So for sisters only tomorrow.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم